Just Living Life. I wanted to bring to y'all a little information. We are going to be talking about fall planting in the areas of Zone 6 and above. I apologize about the glare from my glasses, but I have to have them when I'm doing reading, and I'm going to have to read off some of what I'm talking about here for y'all. Now, for us personally, we believe this is our first year doing a fall garden. It was actually our first year having success with growing things like certain other forms of squash, which we haven't gotten them out of the garden yet. They're still growing and getting better and stronger. So I'll show y'all those when I do go to start getting them out of the garden. Right now we've been pulling onions, we've already pulled our beets, we've been pulling cabbage, and that will all be coming out soon, and then the broccoli, and then the Brussels sprouts, and that will leave a huge area in our garden area. Plus, I showed y'all a sneak peek of another area that we had decided on, another piece of property we have, that we were gonna grow on, and we had it tilled up for us by a family friend, and then we went in, raked it, and started planting. And in that garden we actually have some of the items that the almanac, this is what I'm going by, it's on the www.almanac.com. It's the gardening planting calendar, and then I put in my zip code. For this area, this is a Zone 6 area, well, Zone 6B. It gives you suggestions on what you can plant as far as for seedlings outdoors and seeds outdoors. And there's a large list, and I have it marked on the things that we are or we're going to plant. And it actually, there are 3 pages. One which is upside down, that we have the possibility of being able to grow if we put it in within, say, within the next month to month and a half. I think the latest is September, and that's for like radishes and spinach and lettuces. August are kohlrabi, peas, and carrots. In our previous, the other garden, we planted 2 rows, I believe it was 2 rows of seeds for cucumbers. And according to the guide that we have, it says as long as we plant seeds out by July 9th, we should be able to get some kind of harvest. Granted, no one knows what the weather's going to be like, but according to this, we should be able to get some kind of harvest, and it should be able to go through. We should be able to pick lots of cucumbers from what we plant, given the weather and whether or not we continue to have the weather that we've had over the last several years going into the fall, or, you know, you never know, we might end up having a cold snap and having to pull a lot of things before they're really and truly ready, or not get as much. But fingers crossed. We have cucumber seeds, we have cucumber plants, we planted several rows of corn and green beans. Planted another row of beets. I planted a row of summer squash, or patty pan squash, and then I had another row, and for the life of me I cannot remember what it was I put in there, but I did remember that at the end of it I put some more squash. So I will show y'all that, and I'll go through it when we go back down there. My husband's down there a lot, so he's able to watch over it and water it whenever we don't get rain, and he's going to help tend to that one like I've been tending to this one. So for the crops that are available to plant, whether you start the seeds indoors or you plant the seedlings outdoors or start seeds outdoors, I'm going to go over the list real quickly so that you'll have an idea of the items that if you're interested in starting them, this can be done. And if you go to the almanac.com for the gardening and for the planting calendar, you can bring up one of these for your own zone area, so that way you can print it out and see for yourself, okay, well, I do have time to do this, or you might just be a week or two later than it says. Still do it. Still try. If it's something that you really want, and this is something that you want to have in part of your home and your household, try it. Just do it. The worst that's going to happen is they're not going to grow as big as they need to, or you're not going to get as many as you'd like, but at least you tried. So, the list that I was given was arugula, beets, bell peppers, broccoli, cabbage, cantaloupes, carrots, cauliflower, celery, corn, cucumbers, eggplants, green beans, jalapeno peppers, kale, kohlrabi, lettuce, okra, parsnips, peas, potatoes, pumpkins, radishes, spinach, sweet potatoes, Swiss chard, tomatoes, turnips, watermelons, winter squash, and zucchini. And of those items, we already, like I said, we have cucumbers in the ground, we have green beans and corn in the ground, we have more beets in the ground, we have some summer squash, or the winter is the patty pan squash. I believe it's more of a winter squash. And I believe that was all that we have down there. For here, now I just pulled up all my onions. So I am going to put in place of that, I'm going to start some more carrots and get ready to pull out any of the older carrots that just didn't perform. Maybe, I'm thinking I planted them too close together, and because I did, they basically just smothered each other. And the same thing with my radishes. So I'm going to give them a little bit more space, take some of the bigger areas, and I'm going to plant some more of the radishes and carrots in some of those containers, as well as I am going to plant some Tom Thumb dwarf peas. I am going to plant some red noodle beans, Royal Burgundy garden beans, and I have 2 packs of the light red kidney beans, and I plan on letting those dry and then put them in containers and doing where it, I don't think I'm going to can them. I think I'm going to put them in bags or jars and then just seal them like that. Not cook them and then can them. I believe I'm going to go ahead and just can them dry. I'm also going to attempt at planting probably 2 of each of these pepper plants. I have the Hungarian yellow wax peppers, cayenne peppers, jalapeno peppers, and I'm wanting to try that cowboy candy that I've seen a lot about. maybe. Habanero peppers. I have another one that I'm not sure what the seeds are, but I know it's a pepper seed. And the serrano peppers. So I'm going to try probably about 2 plants each of those. I plan on putting spinach, the Bloomsdale long-standing spinach and red Malabar spinach out in our front containers. None of these are actually going to go into the actual garden area. These are going into my container garden areas that are out here in the front of my house. We also have planted seeds for the beefsteak tomato that are starting to come up. I'm going to put a few of the homestead tomato out in the place I'm going to start the seeds, and then once they come up, I'm going to put them in the place of where like the Brussels sprouts are. Pull them up and put those in there. And then we're also going to have, I have seeds starting to sprout for the Copenhagen market cabbage. And I'm going to start some seeds for this kohlrabi. I really liked it. I only had 2 that came up, but it's really good. To me, it sort of tasted like broccoli. It was really, really good. And also snowball cauliflower. And I have 1 random cucumber plant, plus I have another 6 or 8 tomato plants that were given to us already. And I have about 6 or 8 cucumber plants that are in pots out front. So that is going to be our fall garden. These are things that you can plant, whether they're by seeds indoors or by seedlings outdoors, or even starting the seeds outdoors. As far as the cabbage goes, it says they should go out by around July 19th. The carrots by August. Cauliflower by July 29th. The corn by July 4th, and we had it out by then. Actually, probably a week before then. Cucumbers by July 9th. They're already going. Green beans by July 9th. They were out when we put the corn out. The peppers, it says July 14th, so, but it says by seedlings, so I'm going to be a little bit behind on that because I'm going to be just starting them, so I'm going to be probably about 2 weeks behind, but I am going to try, and I'm going to see what I can do. I've never had a lot of success with peppers except for the chocolate peppers, and I did really, really good with them before. The kohlrabi, it says as long as you start your seeds outdoors by the end of August 23rd. Lettuce by September 2nd. The peas by August 8th. So all these I have plenty of time to get containers and get them into the ground, and most of them probably will be in containers or in the ground way before then. Oh, and one other thing too that I will be getting is potatoes. And it says by the end of this month, July 29th, I'm going to try both sweet potatoes and regular potatoes. So, and I'm going to do them in feed bags and grow bags. And I will show you when I do those. I will show you when I put them in the containers, what I do, how I do it. So you'll be there with me when this is going to be my first time doing fall potatoes. I didn't do any potatoes for the spring or summer, but I will next year. But I am going to be attempting for fall potatoes, both sweet potatoes, which should have been in the ground, they say, by June 14th. So I may or may not get those. But the regular potatoes by July 29th. So I am confident that I'll be able to get those. Radishes and spinach You plant outdoors with seeds by September 7th and September 17th. And the squash by June 29th. And like I told y'all, I took and planted the patty pan squash down there when we planted the rest of that garden down there. So that is what we have going. I will show you more as we start getting it in the ground, and I will show you updates on our other fall garden when I go back down there and show you how well or not well that it's doing. I took a peek at it the other day, and some corn's coming up, some green beans. There's a couple cucumbers coming up. There wasn't a lot coming up yet, but we hadn't had a whole lot of rain, but we recently, in the last couple days, got a lot, so fingers crossed that we will have a decent bounty to be able to can and preserve for the fall, to be able to carry us through the winter for some of the vegetables that we really like to have, and cabbage and broccoli, and having the carrots for stews. Those are the kind of things we're going to do. I also plan on starting garlic in October, so I will take y'all with me when I do that. It will be my first time doing it there. They did not make it when I planted them from this past spring. Not sure why, and I'm going to try again. That's all we can do, is just keep trying. Put it in the ground and grow it. And if you have questions about fertilizer or your ground or what kind of dirt you should use, or ask me, ask multiple other people. Another thing is I use these Minute Soil, and I took my glasses, by Mountain Valley. Now, I am not affiliate of anybody that I've mentioned. I do not have affiliate codes, but I will list websites like for MI Gardener, for the Almanac, for these. You put these in the water and they expand. They get about this tall, and you can start your seeds out. So that's something else. I will put whichever companies I have here from all my seeds, so that y'all can go to not only the Almanac website, but also for the soil and for the seeds companies, to, if you decide, hey, I want to try this too. I want to try getting something that I can be eating in October, November, December that's going to be fresh, that I've grown from my garden. And it's really cool. Yeah. For example, I had my daughter try, first year I've ever grown ground cherries, and they're the green ones. Never grown ground cherries. They were the weirdest little things that I've ever seen. Next year I'm going to have a whole row of them, or two. I'll love them. She tried it, and she was so surprised when she tried it, just like I was. It was like this, just, they're so teeny, and it does not taste like a tomato when you bite into it and start eating it. It might have a hint of tomato taste towards the end, but it tastes like candy. It's sweet. And I've got some purple ones to plant for next year, and who knows? I will show y'all when I do get them what I've got, and I will show you updates on my plants out front here in the very near future, so that way you can see everything that I got going. This here was so that this can help you if you live in a zone 6B or higher area. Get started. Let's get some seeds and plants in the ground, y'all. Let's do this. This is what I've got going, and I look forward to hear what you've got going. Thanks for watching, taking time to be here with me. I appreciate your subscription when y'all do subscribe and watch my videos. You have no idea how much it means to me. I am not monetized, And I am not pushing for that. I am pushing to show y'all what I'm doing. And if what I'm doing and what I talk about gives you a little bit of insight or help to do something else, whether it's a meal that I make or the gardening that I do or a random video, if it helps you, then that's what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it so that I can look back in 10, 20 years and say, I did that, I can do that again. Or this is how I did it and I had success. Even if you don't have a YouTube, make some videos, make notes in your own phone or your camera so you can go back and save it and say, okay, this worked or this didn't work, let's try something else. It's all about surviving and taking care of our families and putting good fresh food that we grow into our bellies and our families' bellies. Thanks so much for being here and watching. I appreciate you all. And until next time, bless you now, today, and always. Bye.